While you were sleeping last night, the DEA just pulled off one of the biggest raids we have seen under the Trump administration. Over 100 illegal immigrants, drugs, weapons, and get this, active duty military personnel running security at an underground nightclub.
Providing details right now about a large raid that took place at what they say is an underground nightclub on the southeast side of Colorado Springs. They're updating reporters right now. This is near Academy Boulevard and Airport Road. Let's listen in.
And took a number of people into custody. I think what I'd like for people to know as a result of this operation is that Colorado Springs is waking up to a safer community today.
The operation started with them moving into that underground nightclub. We've talked to people on the inside. They're currently processing, I think, more than 200 people behind us. They're looking for drugs. They're also confirming if people are legally in this country.
What is up, guys? Tyson De La Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This wasn't some border town in Texas. This was Colorado Springs, home to multiple military bases where federal agents just exposed what looks like a cartel playground operating right under our noses. Let me break this down for you. Early Sunday morning around 3:45 a.m. 4/27/2025, over 300 federal agents descended on what they've called an underground nightclub. Inside, they found over 200 people, including more than 100 illegal hombres, illegal immigrants, who were immediately taken into ICE custody.
300 law enforcement officers. What brought about this kind of requirement, this kind of need to be here with that show of force?
So this is an underground illegal nightclub, okay? And what was happening inside was significant drug trafficking, prostitution, crimes of violence. We seized a number of guns in there. We had active duty service members who were running security at the club and involved in some of these crimes. And in fact, we had over 100 illegal aliens inside as well, and those over 100 illegal aliens were taken into custody by ICE.
Active duty. You heard that right. American military personnel, the people that we trust to defend our nation, working security at an illegal nightclub. And get this, it gets worse.
So it's an ongoing investigation, but we had over a dozen active duty service members in the club tonight, either as patrons or working as armed security. So Army CID was one of our partners out here, and they're going to work with us on what the next steps for those active duty service members looks like. In our investigation, we have noticed TdA, MS-13, and I believe Hell's Angels in this club. I don't have the information about whether those members were there tonight, but we're still working through a lot of that.
Tren de Aragua and MS-13, the same gang members that Biden let flood into our country and that President Trump has now designated as a terrorist organization, operating freely in Colorado Springs.
According to the special agent in charge of the Rocky Mountain Field Division, this place has been the site of violence, prostitution, and drug trafficking. We're told 100 people were turned over to immigration enforcement and that others were arrested on outstanding warrants.
Remember when the left told us that these migrants were the migrants are seeking a better life? Well, apparently, the better life includes running underground nightclubs with pink cocaine, prostitution rings, and enough weapons to start a small war.
So as you may suspect, when the cops showed up at the door, most of the drugs hit the floor. And we did find cocaine. It looks like some pink cocaine or the TUSI. And there was a little bit of other drugs, but we haven't had time to test everything. But there were dozens of small packages of drugs that they've recovered so far that I have personally seen.
In Colorado, this is the same state where Democrat Governor Jared Polis was busing migrants to sanctuary cities like Chicago, New York just months ago. How's that working out for you, my man? Attorney General Pam Bondi didn't mince words about what's happening here. She called these people terrorists, not undocumented workers, not asylum seekers, terrorists. And she is right.
These crimes go hand in hand, right? When we find drug trafficking and prostitution, unfortunately, we're finding a lot of illegal aliens. 200 people in this club, a lot of drug trafficking happened, weapons, prostitution, over half the people inside were illegals.
This is what happens when you have a president that actually means business and actually does some work. Just 3 months into his second term, and President Donald Trump is already delivering on his promises to make America safe again.
The message is we're not going to stand for this criminality in our city.
The left can cry about due process all they want, but I think most Americans would agree. If you're running an illegal nightclub with cartel connections and corrupting our military, you've forfeited your right to stay in this country.
But let me tell you, it looks in immigration standing, the laws are very specific. If you're in this country unlawfully, you have no right to be here and you must be removed. That's what the law says. Somehow over the last 20 years, we've completely lost this notion that somehow or completely adopted this idea that yes, we have immigration laws, but once you come into our country illegally, it triggers all kinds of rights that can keep you here indefinitely. That's why we were being flooded at the border. And we've ended that, and that's why you see a historically low number of people not just trying to cross our border, trying to cross the border into Panama, all the way down in the Darien Gap. I mean, it's been a huge help for those countries as well. On the headline, that's a misleading headline. Okay, 3 U.S. citizens, ages 4, 7, and 2, were not deported. Their mothers, who are legally in this country, were deported. The children went with their mothers. If those children are U.S. citizens, they can come back into the United States if there's their father or someone here who wants to assume them. But ultimately, who was deported was their mothers who were here illegally. The children just went with their mothers. But it wasn't like, you guys make it sound like ICE agents kicked down the door and grabbed the 2-year-old and threw him on an airplane. That's misleading. Yeah. That's just not true.
Let me know what you guys think about this. This bust. They busting people. They're busting people. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe. And as always, guys, I'll catch you on the